Hi dears. Here is a graphical study of the various graphs interrelating any two parameters in a one-dimensional motion. There are parameters like velocity, acceleration, position, time, displacement, and average velocity, and so on and so forth. If you want to interrelate, all these are interdependent functions. You know that velocity may vary from time to time. Acceleration may also vary from time to time, even if we are assuming that acceleration is a constant. But it is not a crime to have acceleration also varying from time to time. Position definitely will vary from time to time for a moving body. Now, our graph here is to study between x and t, where x is the position and where t is the time during which you are taking the position. What is the meaning of position? Position is the distance of the body from a common chosen origin for the entire observation. You have a certain origin of position. With respect to that, how far it is. Even at start, it may be, say, 5 meters away from the origin along the line of motion in that one dimensional motion in that direction. Similarly, t is equal to 0 will be one instant at which we are making our observation and starting our observation. So it is a start of an observation. The instant at which the observation starts is the t equal to 0. So you have to fix your x at 0. What is your x? Which position is x equal to 0, and which instant is t equal to 0. Having said that, the relation between position and time is in one dimensional motion will be our course of study, and the nature of the graph will give it relating to the motion will give a throw a glimpse of what type of motion we are actually encountering in that particular interval that the problem is talking about. Now, this is the study of graphs between relation between position and time in one dimensional motion. This is for this 11th CBSE physics. And the next one that we are going to see is what are the learning objectives of this. At the end of this unit, the learner should be able to identify the two parameters represented by x and y of the graph. Sometimes it may be position and time, sometimes it may be velocity and time, and so on. More often than not, x is always representing the time variable, the time instance. Yeah, the x coordinate quantity and the y coordinate quantity. Here in our study today, our concentration is that the x coordinate quantity is not x coordinate quantity is what is represented on the x axis. Here I am going to take the x coordinate as a time factor, and y coordinate is going to be my position. Y is only my position x. The x coordinate is whatever is the x coordinate in the Cartesian coordinate system of axis. That x coordinate is going to be my time instance. And you have to be familiar. What is the scale chosen for the graph? 1 centimeter equal to how many seconds on the x-axis? 1 centimeter equal to how many meters on the y-axis? Be familiar with the scales chosen for the two axes. Identify the units representing the quantities. Is it kilometer or meter or centimeter or millimeter, depending upon what they are talking about. So that will be specified on the as a y coordinate. For the x coordinate, it can be hour in terms of 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, etc. Or it can be in terms of minutes, or it can be in terms of seconds. So more often than not, for the beginners that we are in, you can take the time to be in seconds and position to be in meters, both of which are in SI. Then observe the pattern of the graph, how the graph goes. Is it a straight line or a curve, or is it a straight line making obtuse angle with positive x direction, or is it a straight line making acute angle with positive direction, or in other words, is it having a slope of positive value or negative value or varying value, and depending upon that your interpretation of the motion will vary. Interpret the type of motion from the pattern of the graph. Determine the values of the x parameter, the question mark parameters from the graph. Sometimes they may ask at 5 seconds, what is the position occupied by the body? Or they can ask when the body occupies a position of 7.5 meters, what is the time instant at which this observation is made. So given a tabulation, a plot between any two parameters in a neat tabulation form, using the tabulation, you have to recast it and draw a graph connecting the x and y coordinates, whatever they are representing. Therefore, that is another skill. Extra skill will be yourself drawing the graph given a tabulation. For the first part, it will be only tabulation and the graph, and from the graph, you have to make the study of the type of motion. This is the aim of the thing. The next one that we are going to have is, I have noted down everything. I'm not going to write anything online on live here, because I thought I will just keep you familiarized with whatever notes I have prepared in advance. But if you understand that, there may come a situation when I will draw it in your presence. Now, this is a straight line. You find that they have marked 1, 2. The next is 3, 6. And the next is 5, 10. 5, 10 will be 5 meters, 5 seconds away from the origin on the x-axis, and 10 meters away from the origin on the y in terms of the distance or the y. 7, 14. The 1, 3, 5, 7 are seconds, which is the x coordinate. 2, 6, 10, 14 are meters, which is representing the y coordinate. Y coordinate is actually the position coordinate, and the x coordinate is the time coordinate, as you can see from whatever is labeled on the graph. The slope of the segment, now you will be learning it in analytical geometry shortly in your maths, that when you have 2 points and you want to find the slope of the line, how far it is inclined to the positive x direction, is called the slope, is a measure of the slope of the line. Actually, the tan of the angle between the given straight line at the particular point of my choice and the positive x will give me some theta. Tan of that theta, the tan value, you know, it's always opposite side by adjacent side. So knowing these, you can find out what is the slope. If only coordinates are given and no angle or anything, or no protractor measured angle is given here, where it is easier enough. What you have to do is, you first fix which are the y coordinates and the x coordinates of any point. Supposing I'm going to take A and C. X coordinate of A is 1, y coordinate of A is 2. For C, x coordinate of A is say 5 and y coordinate of C is 10. So the numerator will contain, in any slope, it will be opposite side, as you can see here. If this is the angle, opposite side is this. What is this angle? It will be the y coordinate difference between 6 and 2. Y coordinate difference of yb minus ya will give me the opposite side. Xb minus xa will give me the time fact during which this change in position occurred. Naturally, tan theta will be opposite side by adjacent side, which is yb minus ya by xb minus xa, which is 6 minus 2 by 3 minus 1. 6 minus 2 is 4, 3 minus 1 is 2, and therefore it will be 4 by 2, and there it will be 2. Because this is the change in position on the y-axis and change in time interval, or change in time instance, or in other words, the time interval on the x-axis, it will be displacement by time. Displacement by time, by definition, you know, is velocity. Therefore, the slope of the xt graph, position time graph, will give me the velocity. You don't have to take anything blindly. It only goes by logical inferences and observations. So y coordinate difference by x coordinate difference will give me the velocity for a particular interval of time, or a very small instant at that particular instant, whichever instant we are taking. Here, if you analyze the line, all of them are in a straight line. So all the angles will be equal by virtue of being corresponding angles, and therefore the tan values will be the same. So velocity will remain the same throughout the journey, throughout the observation of the 7 seconds that we have noted down here. That means it is a uniform velocity case. So slope of the segment between any 2 points, say A and C, is given by m. M is called the slope. MAC is equal to YC minus YA. Y coordinate only should come in the numerator. X coordinate should come in the denominator. So it will be y coordinate difference by x coordinate difference. It will be 10 minus 2 by 5 minus 1. 10 minus 2 by 5 minus 1. That will be 8 divided by 5 minus 1 is 4. So 2 meter per second. Numerator is meter, unit-wise speaking. Denominator is second, unit-wise speaking. So meter per second will be the parameter that is coming out of as a result of finding the slope. Naturally, meter per second is the unit of velocity and nothing else. And therefore, this slope will give me the actual velocity in that time. Note that numerator on RHS refers to change in position, that is displacement. Denominator on NR is numerator. Denominator on RHS refers to corresponding interval of time during which this displacement occurred. Naturally, displacement by time is what else other than velocity. So if you understand like this, there won't be any confusion. You more often than not, I find that the students of 11th standard have a total confusion, because in one case they will say the slope gives me acceleration. In another case, they will tell me the slope gives me velocity. So if they are going to blindly mug it up, as the teacher said, and then go for the examination, they will be totally in a blind street, because they won't know which is the one. So they have to remember that only on the position time graph, the slope gives me change in position by time. Change in position is displacement. So displacement by time is nothing but the velocity. So if you logically analyze, absolutely there is nothing very difficult for the examination. From the above graph, the modulus of S is 8 meters and modulus of the delta t or t, the interval, is 4 seconds. Therefore, m will be 2 meter per second. So what is your conclusion about the first graph that we studied here, graph A? The graph A says that the body has a uniform velocity throughout because it makes the same angles at all points. The same angles the line makes with the positive x-axis. So no matter which 2 points you are considering, the y-coordinate difference may change, x-coordinate difference may correspondingly change, but y-coordinate difference by x-coordinate difference will be the same no matter which 2 points you are considering of the O, A, B, C, D, all these points. And because the state is passing through the origin, I understand that at t equal to 0, the body is at the origin itself. That is the interpretation that you have to make use of. The other points that you can note from here is the graph OABCDE is a straight line, inclined to both. It should not be parallel to either of the axes. It should be inclined to both the axes. The straight line makes an acute angle theta with the x-axis. Tan theta and tan theta is the same for all the pairs of points. Clear? And slope is also tan theta and hence positive. The slope or tan theta gives the velocity. This graph shows you a body with uniform velocity. Since the slope or tan theta is positive, velocity is positive. It follows. So that means here, what is the meaning of positivity of velocity? As you go through, march through the curriculum syllabus of your standard 10, treating velocity as a vector, it may have a different connotation. It is for the either the teacher or the problem giver to take one set of conventions saying that to the east is positive, therefore anything to the west in that one-dimensional motion will be negative. Same way the teacher can say the body is traveling along the northeast, you take towards the northeast as positive. That means velocity will be positive only if it is directed to the northeast. Then southwest, anything to the southwest will be negative. Here, because we have only displacement and velocity, here we can assume that the more and more it goes farther and farther away from the origin, let us call it as a positive velocity. So if it is approaching the origin from elsewhere along a straight line, then velocity will be negative. When it is going away from the origin, probably we are taking it as velocity is positive. So in this case, because the body is moving to a farther and farther point as time goes on, because it is only 2 meters away from the origin at start, at 1 second, and at 7 seconds it is 14 meters away. So the distance is increasing. So you find that it's showing an increasing trend of slope. So you can call it as a positive velocity. That's what I want you to understand here. Now, it follows that the acceleration is 0. Why do you say acceleration is 0? Acceleration is change in velocity by time. If change in velocity is going to be, velocity is going to be the same, change in velocity is going to be 0, and velocity has no change or nil change or zero change, which means acceleration is zero. The body is not accelerated, but it is not at rest, it is moving, sure, but the acceleration is zero. It means it does not undergo any change in velocity. Position x at any time, any instant, or instant corresponding to given position can be found. For example, from this graph, if I am going to ask what is the position at 2.5, in between 2 and in between at 2 seconds, what is the position, they may ask. At 1 only it is 1, at 3 it is 3, therefore at 2 obviously it will be in between 1 and 3, therefore it will be 2 meters. So you have to say that at the instant 2 seconds, the body will be at 2 meters from the origin. That is what you should know. So band 0 to 2, if you take 2 meters has been taken in therefore from every 1 second there is a stepping up of 2. Therefore between 6 and 2, you have to see only the difference, average of 6 and 2. So here it will be 4 meters away. So if they ask you what is the position of the body at 2 seconds, you have to say it is 4 meters away from the origin along the line of motion. And similarly, they can ask you at what instant it is at 8 meters. 8 meters is coming in between B and C. So at 3 and 5, what is the instant between 3 and 5? It will be 4. So if they tell you when is the position, at what instant is the position 8 meters, all you have to say is it is at 4 seconds, it is at 8 meters away from the origin. This is what you should understand. So given the tabulation or given the graph, from the graph, any randomly chosen instant inside the graph, you can find out what is the displacement, and given quoted the displacement, you can find out at what instant it is. Now coming to graph D, you find there's a difference in slope. What happens is at t equal to 0, it is 14 meters away. After that, it becomes only 12 meters away from the origin, and so on, and therefore the position goes on decreasing. In other words, the body is approaching the origin from some far off point. From a 14-meter distance, it is coming to 0 at the origin itself at 7 seconds. Therefore, you find that it also the angle that it makes with the positive x direction is greater than 90, and tan of an obtuse angle is negative, which is what trigonometry will have to tell you. And therefore you find that body is having a negative slope. That means a change in position by time is going to give a negative answer. It means the velocity is negative. In other words, it also means that the body is approaching the origin from some other point, origin of position from some other point. Here if you find the slope, YE, say AE, A is here and E is here. AE, if you want to find out, it will be YE minus YA by XE minus XA. So wow, so 14 minus 6, it should have been 14 minus AG. It should not be AE, sorry, it should be AG. What is the slope of the line AG? It will be YG minus YA by XG minus XA. Now YG will be 14 YG minus YA by XA, but minus is this thing. Now what is, you can also write YA minus YE, you can write it like this, YA minus YG by XA minus XG. The same 2 points you have to consider. For YA is 14, 14 minus Y coordinate of G is 2, and G is 2. X coordinate of A is 0, and X coordinate of G is 6. So it will be 14 minus 2 by 0 minus 6, 12 by minus 6, which will be minus 2 meter per second. So the negative value shows that the body is approaching the origin from somewhere and the velocity is negative. Theta is greater than 90 and tan of an obtuse angle is negative. That also goes to prove that velocity is negative. In other words, the body, what is the physical meaning behind this negative velocity? The body approaches the reference origin from a far off point along the line of motion. It's a rectilinear motion. The graph B represents a uniform velocity, because everywhere the obtuse angle is going to be the same, no matter where you take, the obtuse angle is going to be same by virtue of being corresponding angles, and therefore you find that throughout the velocity is the same, and the magnitude of the velocity is the same, and the sign for the velocity is negative all throughout the journey. So it's another case of uniform velocity. Only difference is it is having a negative velocity. The graph B is also a straight line inclined to both the axes, so velocity is uniform. The y-coordinate difference remains positive, while the x-coordinate considered in the same order becomes negative. So the velocity is negative as compared to the graph A. Therefore, the body approaches the origin from a distant point. So a body has a negative velocity. However, the magnitude of velocity is a constant. Acceleration A is the same. Acceleration A is 0 at all instants. Velocity is the same, acceleration is 0, no change in velocity, so acceleration is 0. I'm sorry, acceleration is 0 at all instants of time. The position at any time given instant, and also the instant at which the position takes a given value, can be found out readily. This is what I want you to understand. Then coming to the next point of the graph C. We'll go to the next graph. A and B we have analyzed. We will go to graph C. What does graph C have to say? Here, this is also a straight line, but it is not inclined to both the axes. It is parallel to the time axis. That means no matter what time you take, the y-coordinate remains the same. No matter what time you take the position remains the same. When will the body's position remain the same? The body's position will remain the same when it is at rest and not moving at all. So this is a case of the body being at rest, where velocity is 0, much less said about the acceleration. Acceleration is at sure 0. And if you find YA, YB, YC, YD, YE, YF, all of them are 10 at 10 meters. Therefore, any 2 points, if you find the y-coordinate difference, YE minus YA, or YF minus YB, or YDE minus YC, any 2 points, if you take the y-coordinate difference, that's going to be 0, no matter what is the x-coordinate difference. Corresponding x-coordinate difference may be 8 minus 0 for A and E. It can be 9 minus 1 for B and F, and so on. But whatever be the denominator, numerator collapses to 0, which means the velocity is 0, because it is only y-coordinate difference divided by x-coordinate difference. And therefore, that is a case of, it's parallel to the x-axis, and the angle between this given straight line and the positive x-axis is 0, and tan 0 is 0. That way speaking also, you find that slope is 0. Slope is 0 means velocity is 0. The straight line makes 0 degrees with the positive x-axis. The change in y-coordinate between any 2 points is 0. The body has 0 displacement, or in other words, the body is at rest at 10 meters from the origin. It's not at the origin. It is actually at 10 meters away, and it remains at the same 10 meters away position at all times. So velocity of the body is 0. So that was the graph in the third case. The what are the points to note? The y-coordinate difference between any 2 points is 0 for any line which is parallel to the time axis. So the slope is 0, also theta is 0 and tan theta is 0. Velocity of the body is 0, and the body is simply, that is the at rest. Now coming to graph D, you find that it is not a straight line at all. It is inclined with respect to both the axes. It's a curve with respect to both the axes at different points. Theta A is the angle which the tangent at A makes with the positive x. Theta B is the angle which the tangent at B makes with positive x. Theta C is the angle which the tangent at C makes, tangent to the curve at C makes with positive x. From your eye estimate, you can see that theta C is greater than theta B is greater than theta A. In other words, the body shows increasing trend of slope. That means the slope is going on increasing as time goes on increasing as well. That means the velocity of the body is not going to be a constant. It's going to increase every time the time is considered is going to be on the increase. In other words, if velocity increases with time, it is an accelerated motion. But I cannot commit myself to saying whether it is uniform acceleration or variable acceleration. That will be dealt with after we have mastered all this in the fundamental part of it. It is only accelerated, is that much I can surely say. The graph is a curve showing a trend of increasing slope ever with increasing time. So velocity is not a constant. Velocity increases with time, or in other words, it's an accelerated motion. What are the points to note on a curve, on a smooth curve graph between x at t and t and x at t? The tangents at different instants show different angles with positive x-axis. Tan theta varies from instant to instant, so it shows variable velocity in the first place. Also, the trend of the graph shows increasing slope with time because the curve itself is concave to the other side and convex to the lower side, and so the velocity increases with time. The motion is an accelerated motion. Whether it is a uniform acceleration, you cannot comment. Don't be in a hurry saying yes, it's uniform acceleration. It will be uniform acceleration only if the change in velocity is going to be the same in equal intervals of time. So that is the thing that you have to know about. Now, is there any further graph? That is all. Now we have to make a summary of the whole lot. What are the things that you have to tell in the summary? What are the first graph? A graph, what we saw. B graph, what we saw. C graph, what we saw. D graph, what we saw. These are the 4 graphs that have been analyzed, and the summary of that is given here. If xt graph is a straight line with a positive slope, means if the xt graph is a straight line making acute angle with positive x direction, that means it has a positive slope. It indicates a uniform positive velocity. Our assumption for positive is displacement increases or the body moves farther and farther away from the reference origin as time goes on. If xt graph is a straight line with negative slope, it means it is, but then also the uniform velocity is uniform, that is no doubt, but the velocity is a negative velocity. If the xt graph is a straight line parallel to the positive x-axis, it shows zero slope, or in other words, the line itself is parallel to that, no change in y coordinate, and it implies that the velocity is zero. Another way on which we extend our argument is that the body is at rest and its velocity is zero. If the xt graph is a curve with trend of increasing slope, I have not talked about the decreasing slope for some reason of some complexity that may arise. So I don't want to start putting some confusion in the beginning itself. So we will talk about the decreasing trend in the subsequent units that we study. If the xt graph is a curve with a trend of increasing slope, it indicates the body has a variable velocity and the velocity goes on increasing. If velocity increases with time, what is the next corollary that you can infer? It is an accelerated motion. What is the information that you cannot provide here for the given graph that I have given here? What are the limitations of the graph? It does not tell me whether it is uniform acceleration or variable acceleration, but sure it is an accelerated motion. That much you can say. This is the summary of whatever you learned in the 4 parts of the graph. Now, what about the further learning? What does this motivate you to go into depths of study? Velocity time graph is another thing, where you represent the velocity on the y coordinate and position the time on the x coordinate. So it can be a velocity versus time graph. So there you have to see all the velocity units will be meter per second, all the time units may be in second. The velocity units can be in kilometer per hour, and the x coordinate can be either hour or minute. So the slope of the graph will give me, y coordinate difference will give me change in velocity, x coordinate will give me change in time or the time interval. So change in velocity by time will give me acceleration. So we are slowly transitioning into an accelerated motion by studying the velocity time graph, which is more relevant for our further complex type of motions and further application of equations of motion, even deriving equations of motion. All these can be proved only by the VT graph. Additional information will be about the integral of that, which in other words, the area that is under the VT graph will give me the displacement. All those will be dealt with in the next class. Hope I have made it clear. Just go through this, keep yourself familiar, to go through this 4 graphs 4 or 5 times and go through the analysis and go through the analysis yourself and yourself recast the inferences, observation, inferences, and what you have to say about the final conclusion. All these things you study on your own. Thank you very much.